two facts together tell you exactly where institutional confidence actually sits, regardless of what the press release says. This is not a panic territory, but it is information. And the people who understand what these signals mean are making completely different decisions than the people who are just watching the price of their portfolio go up and down. Okay. Now, let me say something about what this means for your assets right now. When the Fed injects liquidity into the system, more dollars are flowing through the financial pipes. And here's the thing about more dollars flowing. Each one becomes worth slightly less in relative terms. Not dramatically overnight, but the direction is very clear. More supply of anything means each unit is worth less. That is not an opinion, that is math. And when dollars lose relative value, something predictable happens. People move toward assets that cannot be diluted, assets with fixed or shrinking supply, assets that exist outside of the system that is being propped up. That's why gold did hit record highs, not because it became more useful, but because the dollar became less trustworthy as a store of value, and gold does not have a printing press. Again, that doesn't matter if it has pullbacks. We are talking about the long term of this and how these certain situations are showing us what is really at play. Now, here's where I want you to connect the dots to what you are holding. XRP has a fixed maximum supply. Every transaction burns a small amount permanently. The supply only goes down. So you cannot create more of it by typing numbers into a computer the way the Fed just did with that $8 billion. That scarcity is not a feature they added as a marketing point. It is architecture. And in an environment where the monetary system is literally injecting billions to stay functional, the architecture matters more and not less. This is also why the institutions that we talk about constantly, the ones accumulating through ETFs, the ones connecting to SWIFT through Thunes, the ones the OCC just cleared to custody crypto, they're not doing that because they think the current system is getting stronger. They are doing it because they can read the same signals that we just talked through, and they are building their position on the other side of it. The liquidity injection is not the crisis. It is the signal that the system requires more and more intervention just to stay stable. And every time that happens, the case for assets that exist outside of that system gets stronger and not weaker. Now, we just talked about the Fed injecting billions to keep the system stable while institutional money moves towards scarce, hard assets. And here's the question that most people never ask themselves. Where is your crypto actually sitting while all of this plays out? Because if you're holding XRP or HBAR or XLM or SHX or Quant,